Hi there. This video is specially for Ruchi Gupta. She has just become a member and she has posted some queries. I will answer that. Okay, Ruchi, since you have told that your dog is suffering from canine distemper and is 3 years old, I doubt that whether your dog is really suffering from canine distemper. That's because canine distemper rarely occurs at this stage. It occurs mostly for dogs below 8 months of age. Since your dog is 3 years old, so it is more likely that it has been misdiagnosed with some other disease. Well, since you haven't told me what are the symptoms or signs your dog is having, what are the problems that your dog is having. So let me tell you, if your dog is suffering from nasal discharge from eyes, some twitching of the say hands or stomach area or in the hind limbs, or your dog may be having some problem swallowing or eating, and maybe your dog is having a loose motions also, then it might be just that your dog may be suffering from canine distemper. But if your dog is having only generalized seizure, that is seizure of whole body, and there are no other signs such as discharges from nose or eyes, then it is more likely that your dog is suffering from epilepsy, not from canine distemper. So, since you haven't told me the problem your dog is having, let's assume that your dog is having canine distemper. Then what will be the treatment at this stage? As I have told you, viewers, about that, never use NSAIDs. That is the first and foremost principle of this treatment. That is, NSAIDs means non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs such as meloxicams, paracetamol, acetaminophen, analgin, any painkiller, any antipyretics such as fever alleviating drugs. You shouldn't be using all these drugs, because what these drugs do in case of canine distemper, if you give NSAIDs, these kinds of drugs, then the virus will cross the blood-brain barrier, and then after that it is impossible to save the dog. So first and foremost, what you need to do, that's never, even if your vet suggest you that don't give NSAIDs. Second thing, don't give Canglobe D. Canglobe D is a very unproven, and it is actually a product from Brazil. This immunoglobulin or serum, that is called, of canine distemper, is available only in Brazil and India, and its efficiency hasn't been verified. This serum is not available in USA. It isn't available in entire Europe or any other country. It is available in most of the Asia and Brazil. You must be knowing the regulation, because FDA or the Food and Drug Administration, they do not allow unproven drugs to be used on animals. But in India, maybe there are some loopholes they are taking advantage of. So you shouldn't be using that Canglobe D. It's not proven. What you should do, first consult whatever I tell you now. Just consult your vet first, and by consulting your vet or discussing with your vet, you do this kind of medicine, not solely on my advice. So what you need to do, feed a lot of chicken liver or chicken heart. Next, you do that you ask your vet to give some long-acting drugs, long-acting antibiotics. Long-acting antibiotics can be terramycin LA, that is long-acting. It is injectable form. It can be repeated every 72 hours and ask him to repeat it every 72 hours. Along with it, never give any pain-killing drugs. You ask your vet to give the long-acting drugs. Your vet must be knowing those drugs. It is unnecessary to tell it here, mention it here. So one of the drug I give is this terramycin LA. It is painful for dog. It is very irritating. The compound is very irritating, painful. But let him tolerate the pain and don't give any painkiller drug. First is that. So every 72 hours you should be giving that long-acting antibiotic drug. Next thing, if your dog is having some kind of neurological signs, then you must be giving, your dog must have been giving the phenobarbital. It should be given in injectable form, that is intravenously. Phenobarbital you may give, or there are other also benzodiazepines also. If a dog is having too much seizures, generalized seizures, then benzodiazepines needs to be given. If it is too much, then there are some other drugs which can be given per rectum also. Next is that you should be giving some kind of liver tonic, such as ventrilepet, gut well powders. That is also important. Next is that and then there is another product called Bucid. It is of Vivaldis. It is a immunomodulator, but it also acts very well in case of canine distemper. So you must be giving that Bucid also. Other drugs such as methyl cobalamin, that is also given. Evion, this is also given. So you must be giving all those drugs. So along with these drugs, another thing that is very important is that you shouldn't lose hope. Because if you do all these things in a hopeless way, that kind of hopelessness will be transmitted, or negativity will get transmitted to your dog, and your dog will also feel hopeless. So believe me that canine distemper, if it happens in case of adult dog, it is very much curable. Recovery rates are more, very less chance of dying. So never worry. But of course, look at the other aspects also, such as if your dog is having the epileptic seizures or not, the idiopathic epilepsy and other things. Those also needs to be differentiated. Anyway, discuss whatever I have told you, discuss it with your vet and let him do the treatment, and you keep the faith. Okay, your dog will be okay. Your dog will be good. So I think I have answered your query. If there is anything I am missing or you need to know, you please comment in the comment box. I will reply certainly. Since you are a member, you are a VIP to me. Thank you.